Hey guys, welcome to this week's recap on Rupaul's Drag Race Supersized Snatch Game. So the episode starts off after elimination, and I know Amethyst is just like gagged, like going through this again, going through another elimination, second time winning, and her thinking, oh my gosh, I can't be in the bottom anymore. This is too much. And I agree. I wouldn't want to be on the bottom 2 times back to back in a row. Everyone's looking at you, girl, what can you do? What can you offer? So Amethyst has a lot to prove coming up in this episode. Then we see Sugar, and she's telling her experience after going through the previous episode that she felt like she was a bit much, and she's happy to be out of the group and back with working with Spice, because it was definitely difficult for her to be separated from her twin. And I see this as an issue in the long run, but at least she's aware of her weaknesses, and that gives her an opportunity to work through those weaknesses. Then we have the other girls pretty much sizing each other up, trying to see where they stack among who's the top girls. And Lucy LaDuca, she's putting up a fight. She's saying she's one of the top girls that they gotta watch. And Lux said, no, not after this winning look that she brought in the runway. So it's interesting to see, and I wonder how in this episode if we can see a clearer top group of girls fighting for the crown. It's a new day in the workroom, and Rue tells the girls that they're going to be doing a snatch game. And of course, the girls are shocked. They're like, already? This soon? Even for me, since seeing the preview for the next episode, I thought, wow, it's quite early for a snatch game. There's too many girls here. But Rue lets the girls know that there's new rules and more expectations. So it's going to be split into 2 snatch games. The girls going to be divided into 2 groups, and we're going to have a much more longer snatch game for us to enjoy and for us to critique. And Rue, he's going to decide which girls go into what group. And I know for me, it's always interesting to see who the girls pick to impersonate. I know if I'm impersonating a person, I would select someone I can actually imitate and impersonate, and also a character that Rue is familiar with and that he loves, because that's an easy couple of points to win. And I would be strategic in seeing what the other girls are selecting and know how my character should interact with them. So, our first group of girls, we have Lucy LaDuca, Lux, Spice, and Sugar. And they talk about who they're picking. And so it was interesting to see Lucy LaDuca. He said he wants to do Joan Rivers, which is a smart, good choice to make because, of course, she's iconic. And Rue loves Joan, so that was a good choice. Then we have Lux. She picks Amanda Lepore, which was done previously by previous queens, which doesn't seem to scare him at all. Another good selection Spice made was Miley Cyrus, which I think is good. She's a very animated person. She has a standout voice and personality. So I thought that was a good strategic decision. Then we have Sugar. She picked a controversial choice, in my opinion. She picks internet personality Trisha Paytas. And I'm thinking, you should know by now, when you're picking a character, pick someone that will do well in the snatch game, that has enough that you can work with to land really good jokes and to have good banter. And I'm thinking, how are you gonna pull Trisha Paytas off? Have you not seen Rue history? This does not end well. And Sugar is aware of that, but she wants to be the first. So you could either be the first and be the hero, or you're gonna die like everyone else who have tried to do a personality that's not so good to impersonate, Then me being a hypocrite, I was excited when Aura said she was going to do Bretman Rock. Because Bretman Rock is an internet personality, but I love his personality. Like, he is such a quirky, funny person with good one-liners, a lot of energy. So I honestly was excited with the selection of Bretman Rock, and I was very excited to actually see Aura do something more than just give us fashion, because Aura, she can give us a look. She is a look queen, definitely, but I want to see more of Aura's personality kind of shine. Mistress, she did a good choice. Mistress, she said she's gonna do Rosie O'Donnell, and I'm like, of course, you can impersonate the look. She has good jokes, and definitely Rue would be interested in seeing Rosie O'Donnell. So that was a good selection. Then I got I was gagged when Malaysia said she's doing Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana is a rapper. I would say a newer rapper, but I love his personality. He has such good one-liners that is so well known. I don't know if Rue is familiar with Saucy Santana. I know that Saucy Santana is very popular, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see how that works in the Snatch game and how that is portrayed, because you have to think about it. You have Saucy Santana, and then you're going to have Miley Cyrus, Joan Rivers, Bretman Rock. So your impersonation of that person has to be able to, bounce off jokes off the others too as well. So that was a good choice, I'm thinking. And I'm hoping that it goes really well for Malaysia, because I love Malaysia. An interesting choice that came out, which there's always this one queen that wants to be an oddball and pick like a person who was so back in the day. And Selena Estitis, she's picking to do the Virgin Mary. So I said that's an interesting odd choice. There's always a queen who does this every year, so that's no surprise nor shock. Okay, now in the Snatch game, in the first round, we're gonna have Marsha, Lux, Malaysia, Mistress, Anitra, Robin, and Selena Estitis. So Marsha, she's Tim Dunn. Lux is Amanda Lepore. Malaysia is Saucy Santana. Mistress is Rosie O'Donnell. Anitra is Chef Ramsay's sister. Robin is Karen Huger, which I was excited. I was very excited when I saw who she was going to play as. And Selena Estitis as the Virgin Mary. So off the rip, it was very important in the Snatch game is to make Rue laugh. The first thing, especially when you're introducing your character in the beginning of the Snatch game. Now, who I thought did the best, obviously, was Mistress. She was so good as Rosie. She made Rue laugh so hard. Like, I have so many checks of how many times she made Rue laugh. I'm like, she was making jokes on the cast, playing off the other characters, playing off the questions. I'm like, she did an amazing job. Now, as second best, I was super, super impressed with Marsha. Marsha, she did a great job. She made Rue laugh. She had good one-liners, and she interacted well with the cast. And I liked how she played Tim Dunn. I was like, wow, I'm impressed. Me and Marsha so far, I'm waiting for her to turn a look, but she can definitely act. I can see she's here to play. She's here to play. Third is Anitra. I didn't like that she played Chef Ramsay's sister. I feel like she could have picked a more standout character, but she did a really good job. She had a lot of good one-liners, that's for sure. Next, I have to give it to Selena. Selena as Mary, she took so many opportunities. She put in a lot of great effort. Even though there were some moments I'm like, girl, what are you doing? She had some good moments, and I was actually quite proud for her to pull off the Virgin Mary. Next, I had to give it to Karen Huger, played by Robin. She made Rue laugh, but I wanted more from her character. And I don't want Robin to just be a pretty girl. I want her to execute in personality and really showcase what she can bring to the table. Tied for last for me is Malaysia and Lux. I thought it wasn't much. They didn't make Rue laugh. They weren't bad. They were doing the roles as their characters, but there wasn't much more of a performance to make it a memorable performance for a Snatch game. So that would be my comments. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed the Snatch game. I was scared, of course, because I think it's too soon to do a Snatch game, but the first group of girls, they did a pretty good job. In the next Snatch game, we have Lucy LaDuca as Joan Rivers, Sasha Colby as Jan Crouch, Jax as the Mona Lisa, Sugar as Trisha Paytas, Amethyst as Tan Mom, which I don't know Tan Mom. I'm not too familiar with Tan Mom. And then we have Spice as Miley Cyrus and Aura as Bretman Rock. So, this one was so easy to judge. Obviously, Joan Rivers killed it. Lucy LaDuca, she killed this game. She had the most laughs, the great one-liners, and she interacted well with the cast. This is an example of how a Snatch game is supposed to be. I loved it. Next, surprising. These girls are surprising me. The girl who came in second place for me, was actually Amethyst. I thought Amethyst did an amazing job. She made Rue laugh. And it was kind of unexpected for me because before, remember, when she made the jokes in the previous episodes, they weren't landing. And I felt like this was her chance to really redeem herself. And I felt like she did. This was a great recovery. She, to me, in terms of the quality, I just based on the quality laugh that Rue has. Rue gave such a great big laugh to what Amethyst said, and I'm like, okay, girl, you did that. Like, this is what you need to do, and keep going, keep climbing up, do better. Next, I would have to give it to Sasha and Jax tied for third. Because their characters were funny. I liked them. They made me laugh. They were funny. And they played their characters. They were, I would say, were very successful in establishing and creating their character. Next, I would have to give it to Spice as Miley Cyrus. She put in a lot of effort. But I thought her character was a bit off. I think she was playing dumb a little bit too hard. Like, Miley Cyrus is not dumb. She has, like, a funny accent and funny things that she would say. But I didn't think she had to play her like she was dumb. I didn't like that. I would then give it to Bretman, played by Aura, because I actually like when her Filipino side came out. And then Rue bantered off of that. I like that. Okay, when you have a banter with Rupaul and he's able to bounce back off of you, I like that actually. So this is why I say Aura did a pretty okay job. At least she did that, because we got to see, her side of her. Like, you could see why she picked this character, and I just wish she gave off more energy, that's for sure. And then last, I would have to give it to Sugar. Because I didn't like the character she selected. I feel like she should have selected someone else to play, because I felt like it was not landing at all, and it was like, maybe you should have played a different character. I think she could have played, let's see, who could Sugar play? Someone, maybe she could play someone like who's unexpectedly would be nice. Like, for example, Cruella de Vil. If she was dressed up as Cruella de Vil and played her as nice, I think that would have been a little bit more interesting. Or maybe play up her niceness, by picking a character who's already nice and making them even more nice where it's overbearing. I felt like she could have picked a better character. That's for sure. So now's the time for the girls to get ready for the fashion show. And the category is Beautiful Nightmare. So in the workroom, the girls, they always have their moments, which I appreciate in seeing. And Lucy LaDuca, she opens up growing up in her hometown and being laughed at, not by just the kids, but also adults too. And she would get people laughing at her so much, and it made her sad, and it was difficult for her growing up. And what she did to get out of that is that instead of having the people laugh at her, she got them to laugh with her. So she got into comedy, and through comedy, she was able to find her voice. So I like that we take time in these episodes to really know how these queens, how they grew up and how they overcome such obstacles to know how they got to where they are today. So I do like these moments that we get to see from each of the girls in RuPaul's Drag Race. That's why this show, hands down, is an iconic show. I appreciate this show. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So now it's the runway look, and the category is Beautiful Nightmare. Of course, we see Ru's look, and I always like to critique Ru's look. And I think this is the best he's looked this whole season. I felt like, yes, we get the classic silhouette, but we make it feather, and I really enjoyed the way it looked. Like, it was very interesting to look at. So I did enjoy Ru's look for this episode. Now we see the girls take the main stage. We see Marsha first. And when I saw her, immediately I'm like, oh my God, thank God she put on some more makeup. So for me, I would say her look was a little bit still plain. So I gave her a 7.9 because I felt like she just took a lab coat, some leggings, and a belt. And that's it. Like, okay, you put some retainers on, but I felt like she could have done more to make her look more of a nightmare, much more of a beautiful nightmare, Next, we have Luxx. I gave Luxx a 10 because how can you not give her a 10? After coming after Marsha, any look after Marsha is going to give a 10 to me. So Luxx, what I love about it was so dramatic. I loved her makeup, the prop, the look. It was perfect to me. It was a 10, 10, 10. And I like how she was walking on the runway with the brick tied to her leg. I love that. Then we had Malaysia. I gave Malaysia an 8.5. It was a bold, big look. And it was so much better than last week's look. Because last week's look, I thought the dress was missing more details that could have been placed on the dress. But this one was like very detailed, very full, complete look. What I want to see from Malaysia is a different color. Because I feel like we do the silvers, the lavenders, the lilacs. Like, I want to see a different color on you. Like, your skin is so beautiful. Wear different colors. I want to see colors. I want to see more. Then, for Mistress, I gave her a 10. She looked good. She looked expensive. She looks like she can afford everything. I loved it. I gave Mistress a 10. Anitra, I don't know. For me, in the past 2 episodes, I feel like Anitra is plateauing for me. I gave her a look at 8.5, but I felt like it was a bit too costumey. It was her makeup was gorgeous. Her wig was gorgeous. Oh, it was laid. It was perfect. But I felt like her outfit could have been better. So I want more from Anitra, my baby Detox. I want more from her. Then for Selena, I gave her an 8. It gave Nightmare, but I don't think I will remember this look. I felt like she could do more. I want more from Selena. It was not much to comment on her. It was like, it was okay. I gave her an 8. Then we had Robin, and Robin, she let me down. I gave her a 7.9. I'm a bit disappointed because she always gives pretty, but I wanted to see her give more of a nightmare. I felt like she looked like a spider godmother or grandmother. I felt like it wasn't giving what it's supposed to give, and I want more from for Robin. You know, she's one of my favorite girls. Then we have Lucy LaDuca, and I gave her a 10. Lucy LaDuca, she's coming back for you girls. Like, I was like, there is my girl. There is my star. Her look, oh, it was immaculate. But I would have to say my favorite look in this runway, I would give it to Sasha Colby. Sasha Colby, I gave her a 10, 10, 10, 10. That look was a sexy nightmare. Like, it gave silhouette. It gave body. It gave mug. Like, I loved how she came down the runway and she was just giving body, yaddy. Like, this was the winning look. She was giving me one of the top girls look. Next was Jax. You know, for Jax, I would have to say there's something about her look. I feel like it could be tweaked a little bit better. Like, I felt like the fit wasn't fitting. It was interesting to look at, but I felt like the fit was not fitting. So I gave her an 8. But I don't know. I need Jax to work on, you know, making the look like it was for her. It felt like it was probably for someone else and then she put it on herself. Like, I felt like I want more of a silhouette, more shape, more dimension. We'll see. I'm gonna give her another chance. But Jax, she was one of the girls I thought that was at the top, but she's slowly like rolling down to the bottom. Next we had Sugar. I gave her a 7.4 because I felt like it didn't fit the theme. I think she was too cute. Like, it was too pink. Like, maybe make the pink look disgusting. Something. She should have she should have made the look fit the theme and not like, I don't know. I felt like she was just giving Barbie. And, you know, her name is Sugar, but I felt like she could have done more. Then Spice, I gave her a 7.9. The color theme of her look is well played. I felt like she was giving Jailbird Barbie, but it was still too cute. I felt like you need to make it more of a nightmare. Fit the theme. Then Amethyst, you know, Amethyst is our comeback girl. I gave her an 8.1. She's like, you're not sending me, I'm putting me in the bottom today. So she gave us Gaga, and I liked it. But, you know, I want to know who Amethyst is based on her look. Because right now we're seeing, like, this week she gave us Gaga. Last week she gave me Christina Aguilera. I want to know who is Amethyst based on her look. So we'll see. I want to see till next week what look she's going to give. I wonder if she's going to give what, Beyonce or what? Then we have Aura. Aura, you know, at first when you see the look in the beginning, I'm like, this plain old black look, like, that really? But when she turned around, I was like, oh my God, this look saved her. Like, you can count on Aura to give a look. She's a look queen. So I gagged. And the look on Michelle Visage's face was priceless. I was like, yes, okay, Aura, you're safe. You're going to be good. You're going to be fine. Thank you. Because I want to see more. So I gave Aura look a 9.8. So RuPaul announced all the safe girls, and I was kind of a little bit down about that because I wanted to know how the other girls play so we can kind of see how everyone is ranking, and B, I felt like this episode could have been longer. Why we're cutting down the time here? I want to see where everyone's tack at. So our safe girls today for this episode is Luxe, Malaysia, Anitra, Robin, Selena, Sasha, Jax, Amethyst. I was like, Amethyst, you made it. It made it at the end. I was like, Amethyst, yes, you are safe. So all these girls are safe, and they leave the stage so we don't get to hear their feedback or critiques from the judges. So the girls to be critiqued are Marsha, Mistress, Lucy LaDuca, Sugar, Spice, and Aura. So for the judges' critiques, we start off with Marsha. For Marsha, I gave her a 7.9 for fashion, and one of the comments that she received from Michelle Visage is that she's happy to see more makeup on her face. And that's a good sign for Marsha because it means that she's listening to the feedback the judges gave her so she can show growth. But RuPaul wasn't too crazy about her outfit, and I have to agree. RuPaul actually says to her that she should drag it up some more, elevate it, because her look was quite plain and simple. It wasn't enough compared to what the other queens brought to the runway. Now, when it comes to her snatch game, they were impressed and shocked by her. They loved her in the snatch game. She did a great job, and I felt that she did a great job as well. I'm shocked that she did so well because even though her outfits are plain, she does have quite a personality, which is good for Marsha. Next, we have Mistress. Mistress, for her fashion look, I gave her a 10. And Michelle said that she can paint all the way down. Like, oh my God, Mistress, she knows how to do a whole face of makeup. Actually, some of the other girls should take notes from Mistress because that is what drag is supposed to look like. She is giving a whole look. When it came to the snatch game, I felt like Mistress, she's one of the top girls. They loved her in the snatch game, and they were really impressed with her and her character as Rosie O'Donnell, which I thought was a clever strategy, clever move for her to do. Now with Lucy LaDuca, I also gave her a 10 for her fashion, her runway look. The judges thought that she was super chic and it had a lot of style. One of the memorable looks for sure. When it came to the snatch game, she was another top girl, a real standout. She really made RuPaul laugh. Like, the amount of laughs that we got at RuPaul, that's a good sign that you're doing well in the snatch game. So she as well is one of the top girls. So to me, I'm thinking between Lucy LaDuca and Mistress are competing for the top winner's position. Then we have Sugar, and I was expecting that she's going to have low critiques. I gave her fashion a 7.4. The judges, they actually didn't comment and said anything about it. I don't think they wanted to tear her down. It wasn't anything to comment much about, but if I was to be one of the judges, I would give her feedback to say, well, your look wasn't part of the theme, which was a beautiful nightmare. It didn't give neither beautiful nor nightmare. It just gave really, 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 really cute. Now, in her snatch game, they didn't really like her character. They felt like she didn't utilize the character quite well. She was instead very interruptive during the game. It didn't really help the other girls, and it didn't even help with RuPaul to do back and forth banter. So Sugar, she unfortunately bombed the snatch game, and that's the worst feeling any queen can have in the RuPaul Drag Race. Next, we had Spice, her twin. And for Spice, her fashion was a little bit better for me compared to Sugar. I gave it a 7.9. The judges didn't really mention much about her fashion. They really focused in on her snatch game. They liked her character, but they wished it was more funny. I mean, when you have Miley Cyrus, there's so much you can do with that character, and they wanted a bit more. So Spice, she did okay in the snatch game, but it was kind of like a missed opportunity for her. Then we have Aurora. Okay, Aurora, her fashion, she's always going to give fashion. I gave her a 9.8, and the judges, they described her look as delicious, which I think is the best compliment you can get for your fashion. They loved her look, and I thought it was a great surprise, given that it was so simple in the front, but once she turned around, you really see the whole look come together. I was so impressed. Now, when it came to her snatch game, they said it was missing personality, and I agree. I want to know who Aurora is. I feel like she's not utilizing her time the best as possible. All I know her so far is to give good looks, but these queens, they work with a team of people who can put together a look. So it's really up to the queens, to just do the makeup and put everything together in the workroom and present it. But I felt like Aurora, she really should let her personality shine. She should open up a bit more. So I feel like there's a lot of work for Aurora in this game. So we learned that Marcia is safe, which I was understanding of. Mistress safe, I could understand, but I could also saw her as the winner. Aurora, she was safe, and I was like, oh my god, thank god, she's gonna have another opportunity to really make up for this. And the winner for this episode was Lucy LaDuca, which I think is a well-deserved win because she killed it in the fashion as well in the snatch game. So up for elimination, we have Sugar and Spice. And I'm like, wow, they're really going to break up the twins, which is going to be good in my eyes because I feel like Spice has a great opportunity to do well in this show, but I feel like Sugar is kind of like her handicap. I feel like she helps Sugar a lot, so I feel like Sugar is weighing her down. So we have an elimination between Sugar and Spice called the Twin Sync, and their song is You Better Run by Pat Benatar. From the jump, you can see that it's not really like a traditional lip sync for your life situation where you see each queen giving it their all to keep their spot in the competition. Rather, they're working together, so they kind of work together to the very end of this show in their performance. To me, it was a little bit boring because I wanted to see who wanted more, and they pretty much shared the space. The girls call it rehearse. I agree, it was another rehearse bit by them. So at the end, we see that Spice is safe, which I feel is the right decision, and that she will survive and do great on her own because she's very independent, as opposed to Sugar, who is very dependent. So Sugar is so dependent that even at the end, when she's leaving from the runway, Spice had to remind her to say goodbye, say something classic, be memorable. And so Sugar finally does that, and Spice reassured, okay, that's great. And I was kind of happy that Sugar was eliminated because I felt like she was just weighing her sister down, and I want to see what Spice is all about, especially if she wants to offer and showcase her work. So next week, we see it's going to be a sewing challenge. This is the opportunity where we get to see as viewers who can sew, who could turn a look and do it themselves. I'm excited about this because you really get to see people showcase their talent. I think this may be the opportunity for Aurora to make it up and really showcase that she's really a look girl. Like, can she turn a look? So I look forward to next week's sewing challenge, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please remember to like and share to your friends, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.